world is changing at a very rapid pace. And Dr. Phil says there's a whole new rule book to survive out there. And today we've been giving you some essential tools to protect yourself, your health, as well as that of your family. Now, Stefan says he's fed up with the direction his life's been going in. He's actually starting to physically feel the effects.
I do not have the success of my life that I want at all at the moment. I work as a cook at a huge restaurant that's open 24 hours. I work the 2 a.m. shift to the 10 a.m. shift just by myself. Throughout my life, I have always been someone that's generous and willing to give money to people. So I probably lent out over $40,000, and I've gotten less than 10% of that back. My social life is terrible. I have an allergy with alcohol. And it's not just that I'm a wuss that I can't drink alcohol. I've tried many times and gotten very sick trying. And after 21, all my friends' social life became about drinking. When you don't have a social life, you're depressed. On a day-to-day basis, I just feel unhealthy. Why work out when you don't have anyone to impress? Like, what's the point? My birthday will roll around and you don't get any calls, and you start to think about all the favors and all the things that you've done for people in the last 20 years or so, and you realize that it was all for naught, really. I wish life had an instruction booklet so they can tell you this is what you need to do and this is how you can find success.
Well, Stefan's here in our audience. Dr. Phil, before we get into some of the tips you're going to give, you mentioned an allergy to alcohol. You know what you have? It's something very common, actually very common, and up to 80% of Asians have. It's an alcohol intolerance. And if you watch this, what happens when you have alcohol intolerance? You are lacking a certain enzyme. As alcohol, those green dots, is broken down in a normal person. It breaks down, but you see those pink dots, that's a toxic byproduct of alcohol. And if you can't break that down, you can get flushing of the face, nausea, vomiting, headaches, and feel terrible, as I'm sure you did, when you would have alcohol. So people who have this alcohol intolerance don't want to drink. And there's a medical reason for that. But that should in no way, shape, or form, in my humble opinion, be a reason that you feel like you're struggling to make friends.
Do you think that that holds you back socially?
It definitely does. I mean, when I went from 20 to 21, all my friends, every activity involved drinking alcohol. Before they go to the zoo, they want to drink alcohol. Before they go to the movies, they want to drink a 40. You know, it's like baseball game, alcohol.
Well, you may want to get some new friends. If your friend's idea of a good time is to get wasted and go to the zoo, whoa, it's a big cat, wow. But let's talk about this for a minute. I don't drink at all, and I've made that choice, and it's never bothered me socially at all. For a lot of people, alcohol is a social lubricant. They need it to get their inhibitions down so they can come out. That's one way to do that, but there are other ways to do that. You don't need to anesthetize a part of your brain in order to have fun and your personality to come out. You know, I say in the book, I talk about the Sweet 16. I've studied success all of my life. When other kids were building little model cars, I was like some noodle neck. I was studying success. I was fascinated by it. I've studied it my whole life. And it leaves clues. There are a list of things that successful people do. And one of them is you have a defined image. When people say Dr. Phil to you, don't you know what that means? Do you ever confuse me with anybody else? Okay, and look at his head. Okay, you want to whine about not drinking? Look at this head. Okay, I just embrace it. I've been bald since I was 12. Okay, here's the thing. The difference between winners and losers is winners do things losers don't want to do. You've got to define your image.
I'm not trying to have that image. It's just that
no, you are. If you aren't having that image, who is? Who picked that image for you?
God.
Oh, throw him under the bus. Oh, if I had a flag in my pocket, I'd give you a whine warning.
All right.
Because you've got to stop whining and start doing. Listen, don't give up. You've got to find the place that you fit, and then you've got to create an essentialness in that position. And you can do that. You just can't give up. I know, I'm talking too long.
For the record, I used to sell knives door to door. So point is, you know, everyone has a journey in life. And whatever path you take to get there, as long as you know who you are, you will ultimately be successful.